Your webinar attendees, they brutally want to buy from you, but you are making it harder. And I see this all the time. We have coaches that get 50 people on a webinar. They're excited people. They get to their close and they absolutely blow it. And I used to do the same thing until I figured out what psychological triggers and offers get people to say yes with their credit cards in the air. And once I started using this framework, I started getting my conversion rates from 2% to 15% on cold traffic on 1 hour webinars, which is well within the industry average and a little bit above, actually. Now, in order to understand why they buy but don't, you have to understand the buyer persona or psychology around a $10,000 high ticket buyer. Now, here's a quick example, okay? We had Tara with 42 people live and only 2 people bought her $4,000 offer, okay? Because the psychology of a $4,000 buyer is different than somebody who's a $10,000 buyer. And over X amount of time, Tara got a lot more sales, right? She had a $10,000 week, and then I believe she had 14K, 16K, 18K, 20K weeks with webinars. She's been consistently growing it because we implemented what I'm gonna go over in today's video. Now, there's 3 barriers that these leads are facing. Number 1, the fear of the wrong decision. This is huge when you're buying anything. Did you buy the right car, the right house, the right watch? The fear of making the wrong decision, and not just an impulse one, is what most avatars go through. How do you reveal that persona and actually carve away the objection on that? I'll get to that soon. Second is the fear of no results. There's a lot of programs out there, but not a lot of them bring good results. So now we have the fear of, well, because my trust is down, does your program even work? I'll get the solutions later. And then the fear of judgment. What programs they buy, they might go to their friends about, and they're like, yeah, I joined this blah, blah, blah thing. And then their friend's like, oh, dude, that's lame, or you should join this thing. And now their fear of judgment has come out. Is this thing gonna be impressive if I buy it? Or am I gonna be judged because the person I'm working with? Next piece is pitching before removing fear. That is wrong. You cannot pitch before fear is removed. You do not wanna do that. You have to completely drop fear by using something called a risk reversal in the offer. And also, you want to have less fear by showing more live testimonials, showing more buyer journeys, and showing good expectations on how fast the wins are that you can get them. Now, they are pre-sold on you, but not the investment. You know, all the time people come to your webinar or they hop on the phone like, oh, what you have is great. What you got is great, but they don't buy nothing. They're gassing you up, giving you an ego boost, but they didn't buy shit. That's because they were pre-sold on you, but when it comes down to price and value, they don't whip out their credit cards. That's the disconnect, and that's where a 10K buyer is gonna have different psychology for someone buying a 997. People who buy 997s want fast shit. They think that it's supposed to be cheaper. They want to move with speed, but they're more needy and they're just more stupid. Like, let's be honest, like they're just dumber. When we go to a 10K buyer who has that kind of cash, they're smarter. They make more analytical, logical decisions. It's very hard to emotionally sway a $10,000 buyer. So this is my exact 4-step close that I use every time I run my own webinars. Okay, number 1 is permission. Do I have permission today to present you this offer that will get you X, Y, Z in X, Y days? That is permission. When you go right into the pitch, no one in the room gave you permission. So I always say like, hey, type a 1 in the chat, type a W in the chat. Do I have permission? Give me a P if I have permission to show you what it looks like to work with me and get X result in X amount of days, or to see how this would look inside of your life. Once I ask for permission, now I get to price anchor with choices. Now, choices don't always have to be price. They could be price versus cost. Here's the price of what you pay, and here's the cost of what it's gonna cost you to do it on your own. You can show them 3 options. Do it yourself, done with you, and then done for you. And done for you, you wanna have it taken the most. It's just like popcorn theory. If my small popcorn is $4 and my medium is 7 and my large is 8, I now want more people to buy the 8, which they will, because they'll go to the middle and they'll say, I'm getting more for my medium, but if I just pay an extra $1, I'm getting the better thing, which is what's gonna lead them to that DFY, which is always going to be the highest ticket price that you can charge. And then once I have them set on choice, because I'm price anchoring. So like, for example, this one might be $997, and then this one would be like $1,750, and then like this would be like $2K. They're going to wind up taking the $2K. It's like literally a little bit above it, right? But obviously, you know, this could work with multiple facets. You could put 5K, 9K, 10K. You can do that too. Now comes into the risk reversal. How do we reverse their fear of losing, fear of risk? because people don't want to take on risk. They want to have as least risk as possible. So that's why I do a lot of my half now, half later payments on my offers, where it's, hey, 5K now and 5K when you hit X goal, or 5K when you double your money, or 5K when you get an ROI, or whatever that goal is that you know the prospect wants. Let's be real. They want sales, they want money, they want a return. Only 3 things they really give a fuck about. Everything else they don't really give 2 shits about. And then we get into true scarcity. A lot of people use this scarcity of like, oh, I got 3 spots left. Oh, there's 4. They don't believe you. But what if I said this instead? Due to us having 15 available growth market managers, I can only give them 1 client per week. So with that being said, I can only take 15 slots today on a room of 500, 600 people. Because due to fulfillment capacity, I can only give 1 client to each team. So that's why I only take 15 spots. Now it's believable. But if I just went on there and said, yeah, there's 30 spots left, there's no context, no clarity behind why there's even a certain amount of spots left. I have to give them believability, which is true scarcity. At the end of your webinar, let's say you're pitching, you might be getting sales and you might be shitting the bed. Well, if you shit the bed and no one buys, here's what you need to understand. 70% of sales happen after, not during. Trust me. We scoop up a crap ton of money after the webinar. We have setters calling, setting appointments, setters taking payments, setters helping with failed payments, whatever that looks like. 70% is gonna come afterwards. I've had so many people come to my webinars and then like they book a call the same week and they wind up buying. It's actually insane. Ending the Zoom call right after you pitch. No. Okay, you don't just go on there, go through your stack and you're like, all right, who's buying? Okay, no one bought, okay, bye. No. You go into what I call 30-minute Q&A. 30-minute Q&A is where you're going to answer people's questions, make a more intimate room, because those questions that people are asking, if you have 50 people in your Zoom room, 1 person asked that question, the other 49 people might have thought of it, but didn't speak up and ask. You now get to answer that question and handle objections one-to-many. The next piece is live testimonials. This is where some of these are obviously planned, but I will text clients and say, hey, I'm on a webinar, join, I'll give you a gift card, here's the link, I need you to say a couple words real quick. And that's it. You go into pitch, you might have a countdown timer on there, you got your whole offer stack on there, you're answering questions, and once in a while, someone pops in who's a live testimonial. That's gonna help you build trust and get rid of that fear of failure or the fear of making the wrong decision I talked about before. The last part here is the follow-up sequence or breakout room. After I'm done with my countdown timer and all the live testimonials have went down, I can now do 2 things. I can either rely on follow-ups or I can go to breakout rooms, which is, hey, listen, I appreciate you spending your time with me today. I actually have another session I'm running right now where I'm gonna go more into detail on X. And that X thing is usually the biggest objection, or something around results from the program. They can now hop to another room and get the second touch point and then get to the sale. I hope this all gives you clarity on how to get more out of your webinar room. If you enjoyed this video or you want us to build a webinar for you, let's go through those 2 things. Number 1 is like, comment, subscribe, helps the channel. We're putting a lot of content out right now, a lot of value. Hope you guys are enjoying it. Second is, if you want us to build a webinar for you and do all this for you, click the calendar link in the description, in the comment section and description, and you can book a call with one of my senior advisors who will go over this with you in detail, see how this fits your offer, price point, and buyer persona. So click the links, subscribe if you're new, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.